Calling all partners. Losing weight is better together with Nutrisystem's Partner Plan. In fact, people who diet together lose 20% more weight than dieting on their own. Get new premium meals with up to 30 grams of protein. They're big and filling and taste delicious. Plus, try our new restaurant faves that taste like your favorite restaurant, portioned with half the calories. Don't wait. You could win big cash during Nutrisystem's Better Together Partner Plan $100K giveaway. And maybe win the grand prize of $25,000. Just go to Nutrisystem.com/thin right now and get 50% off plus an extra $50 off your first month. You heard me right. Go to Nutrisystem.com/thin right now and get 50% off plus an extra $50 off. Don't wait. This Partner Plan offer will not last long. Just go to Nutrisystem.com/thin right now and get 50% off plus an extra $50 off. Go to Nutrisystem.com/thin. See website for details on our 2-month subscription offer. No purchase necessary. Open only to U.S. residents over 21. Void where prohibited. Runs December 25 through April 4th, 2022. For official rules, visit Nutrisystem.com. Sponsored by Nutrisystem, Inc.
This podcast is a member of the Voices of Wrestling Podcasting Network. Visit voicesofwrestling.com to hear the rest of our great podcasts, as well as show reviews, columns, opinions, and updates across the world of wrestling.
Hello everybody, and welcome to the Super J-Cast. I'm Joel, joined by Damon McDonald. It is Thursday, 17th of February. This is episode 198.
Wow.
Some interesting behind-the-curtain pre-recording discussions for us. People, having your wife throw shoes at you, vasectomies. We've run the whole gamut, haven't we, this week?
We really have. It was fun. I liked it. I was telling Joel about this person. I don't know. Again, I don't know how I get in these inner hole. That's not a word. Interhole is not a word. It's not even a thing. Interwebs, that's a jokey term that we'll use. And you just get caught up in videos and shit like that. And it's a couple. And the wife is lethal with her shoe tossing ability. Like when she gets pissed off at the guy, she kicks off her fucking shoe like she's ready to throw down. And, you know, she's able to like kick up this shoe, catch it, and throw it at this guy. It's like she's really good at it. She can fucking do some damage, and I love her. I absolutely am in love with her. I don't know what the fuck the name is. I don't know what it is, Joel. I don't know where I come across these fucking things, but maybe if I find it, I'll text you and I'll tease it for a while, and then I'll tease it on this show, and then not know where the fuck to find it, so no one can find it. We stink so bad. Why does anybody listen to this shit?
Well, yeah, hopefully it'll be, like, as you mentioned, a less angry show than last week. We were both pretty pissed off last week.
I listened back to that show, Joel, and I'm like, wow, that was a show. But
your ad read, that My Bookie ad read was a bit special.
I don't give a. The funniest part was, I don't give a shit. Just put a word in there. You'll figure it out. But I will say this. I mean, not that we're doing any ad reads right now, but eventually we will. Let's just leave it at this until we do the read. Very happy with one of our sponsors. Very happy with one of our sponsors. Let's put it that way. It gets the Damon seal of approval. And we'll talk, I'm sure, about that in a minute or two.
It's just occurred to me, we got episode 200 coming up.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, the desk where I do this from is right next to like my work desk. So I have two desks side by side. One has 3 monitors. I literally have 3 arms and 3 monitors. And then this desk I'm sitting at is just an iMac that just sits here. And its sole purpose is this show. My point is, right next to me, the desk is a little dirty because I'm moving shit around in the office, is a board, a Liger autograph that almost to the day I got, I think it would have been quick math, 7 years ago. Like, I just think of that. I guess I've been a little bit introspective, I guess is the term I'm looking for. I'll send the picture. When you get to this ripe age that I turned, you get thinking about shit. You really do. And you think about how fast time goes. It's unbelievable. Like, just the fact that Esther is one in
Starting school.
Yeah, I mean,
Starting school.
yes.
She's going to come into school with me next on Monday.
I mean, she's talking. She can walk and run, obviously. And you have another, you have a little boy and all the stuff that's going on. It's just like how fast that shit goes. Yes. So your point, 200 shows is amazing because I remember the first one. Well, I remember how it came about, but it was right around New Japan Cup time. So yeah, this would be how many years would that equate to? So we do one a week. There's 52 shows a year, right? So it's like year 4, year 5. Are we in year 5?
I think we're coming up to 4 years. So we started, was it around sort of Dontaku 2018? So yeah, we're approaching 4 years.
I thought we were really the Cup. I thought the first things we did were New Japan Cup. I could be wrong, but even so, 4 years. I haven't done any. Here's the 3 things that I've done that were longer. Lived in this house, married my wife. That's it. And maybe my best friend. Not maybe my best friend. Okay, so there's 3 things. I mean, I've probably gone through 2 or 3 different jobs just doing this show. You know what I mean? Like, it's crazy. So anyway, that's my old man just sitting on his porch fucking thinking about time going by moment here on the podcast. I'm sure all you 20-year-olds, you'll fast forward through this, but I'm telling you, it goes fast. It goes fast. I remember when I was 20. Kinda. Anyway, yeah, last show.
Better talking about that than my impending sterilization.
All right, here. There we go. You want to say that again a little louder for the kids in the back?
Yeah, I'm getting a vasectomy tomorrow morning.
Oh,
Me and Maddie have been talking about it. And again, I think it's important to talk about these things. I want to normalise these things because, I've had people send me messages saying, thank you for normalising, parenting talk, dad talk, things like that. And I figure this is an important part of, parenting / non-parenting, I guess. We've had enough. We think we've had enough children. We don't want any more children.
Right.
And in terms of birth control, it's made, we thought it's not fair that all of that is on Mally, as it usually is with women.
Great job.
So, yeah, I'm going to take one for the team. A little bit nervous, but I know I shouldn't be because it's a very minor procedure.
They're not going to find it. That's what you're afraid of? You're really, we can do nothing with this vagina. Oh, it's a penis in there. Okay, great. I mean, from what I understand, now I applaud you, and I applaud your rationale. I applaud the fact that yes, you are correct in the sense that in the majority of relationships, let's be honest here, it's on the female to pop a pill or I don't know, fucking. What are those little plastic IUD things?
The moon cap.
Yeah, I mean, geez. Hey, let me ask you this: you ever have a dental dam? You ever work with a dental dam in your life? Those things are fucking. Ugh. I had a girlfriend who was so. Well, she wasn't a girlfriend, but she was kind of like a girl that you hook it up with.
Oh no, wait! A moon cup is for menstruation, isn't it? I'm getting mixed up.
I mean, I'm sure. I don't know. I'm going to be flat out and tell you I don't know. What is a moon cup? Because I thought a moon cup you were talking about an IUD. Is it an IUD?
It's like a little menstrual cup as an alternative to tampons and pads.
Oh, don't do that.
No, I don't think that would work for me.
Oh, that's that. Well, I mean, just in general, I don't think I would. I don't know why that can't be comfortable at all. And I will say this, by the way, two white guys talking about menstruation.
We're open-minded. If you listen, if any of you have experience with moon cups, write in, let us know.
By all means,
talk about it.
Yes. Yeah. Like I can't. Could you imagine going through that every month? Like that's like I'm amazed that like my wife goes through that every single fucking month. It's just like so. It has to be so like so annoying. Like there's positives of of both sides, male, female, whatever. Like I think we won on that one. Like that whole thing. Imagine being a 13-year-old girl. I mean, we don't have to imagine that hard, but imagine being a 13-year-old.
What's happened to this podcast?
We are off the rails all of a sudden. But imagine that, and just like, I guess if you didn't have the talk, like if you had parents that were a little, I don't know, maybe a little not as forthcoming with that information, and like, what do you do?
Yeah, that is it. That's something I'm very mindful of, having a daughter, and I know these things are going to come up faster than I would like. So
yeah,
it's important to think about this stuff and be open-minded, because I want to be a good 21st century helpful, supportive dad. But yeah,
I mean,
scary.
Let me ask you this. I mean, that's going to be a talk that the missus is going to have, right? Like, you're not. Are you going to do the talk? Or are you just going to be like a joint thing? Like, do you have that in your mind? How that's going to play? I mean, you got a little time, mind you, but how are you going to like? I don't know. Like, what do you do? Like, is there a book on this? Are there rules?
Probably. I'm sure there is. With a lot of parenting stuff, I tend to read up on it, read lots of books, and hopefully there's some good suggestions in there.
See, you're not weirded out by shit like that, though. You know what I mean? Like, you're not. Like, I would be bad because I would fucking goof it up. You know what I mean? I would say something stupid.
Well, I mean, bear in mind, I do teach grade 5
/
year 6 students, so this is something that comes up every year, these kind of conversations.
Yeah. Wow. Every year?
Yeah, it's part of the curriculum.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Usually for that sort of, like, if it's talking about periods and things, it would be a female teacher doing that. So some of the stuff we have the kids all together, sometimes we separate the boys and the girls. But yeah, it does come up.
Wow. Like, my sex education consisted of watching a woman give birth, like a film, like literally a reel-to-reel film. Like, we had a projector. That's how old I am. And the woman, I'll never forget, she was in full makeup giving birth. Right? She looked like fucking Susie Sue from Susie and the Banshees, for Christ's sake. She had so much makeup on. And
yeah, that's pretty common here, actually, because people want to have nice photos of themselves with their newborns. So.
Really? I can't imagine. I'd be like, I'm not. Ugh. And I just remember there was a girl in my class, and everybody's kind of like, "Whoa, what the fuck?" We're probably like 4th grade, 5th grade, maybe even a little bit older, like 6th grade. And a girl passed out. She fucking passed out right in the fucking.
I nearly passed out at my son's birth. That's
well,
pretty
yeah,
intense, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I can't believe. Yeah, well, that's good. I'm glad. You got a lot of frozen peas, I guess. That's the trick, like frozen veggies. A bag of that.
What a missed opportunity for Manscaped, Adri, because there's got to be shaving going on down there, but they ditched us. So
did they? I can't imagine why. Are you all cleaned up down there?
Absolutely not.
No, you're leaving it. You're leaving it just a mess.
They can do it for me. That's part of the service.
Is that right? Nice. Yeah. So you're a little nervous. Nothing's going to go wrong. I mean, nothing.
No, it's not about that. I'm just a big coward, and I don't like the idea of being in pain. But there you go.
Yeah. Well, you're going to be a little.
I'll get over it.
Yeah, you'll be a little. Honestly, from what people have told me, it feels like you kind of got, a little knock in the nuts. But about a day or two, from what I understand. I actually thought about doing it. I don't know why I didn't, but because we don't have any kids and we don't plan to have any kids, and I'm probably fucking shooting dust at my cock right now. At this point. But yeah, I'm proud of you. I think it's. Here's the thing: you thought about it, you discussed it, and you stepped up. I'm proud of you. That's good work by you.
And maybe my wife might actually think about having sex with me now. So let's see how that goes. I'll report back.
Yeah, let me know.
In about 6 months.
I'm going to text Damon. I'm fucking right now. Yeah, I'll send you an emoji. Yeah, go get him. Go get him with your snipped balls. All right. There's got to be something better we could talk about here, right? These people are listening to menstrual talk and balls getting
quite the opening, hasn't it?
It really is. We're the best.
Well, I tell you what, you talk to me about, now we've talked about sponsors who hate us. Let's talk about one who hopefully will love us now that we have one of our co-hosts heartily endorsing it. Damon, please talk to me about your experiences with our friends at HelloFresh.
HelloFresh. Look, I'm gonna cut the bullshit. So in our discussions, I don't even know how it came about, but Cheryl and I were discussing dinners. Look, there's no worse conversation if you're in a relationship than, what do you want to have for dinner? Oh, I want to jump out a fucking window. I don't give a shit anymore. And you have a refrigerator full of food, and it's like, well, I don't know what to cook. You want to cook? I don't know. HelloFresh, simple, easy, and dare I say, delicious. As was reported last week, I got the box from HelloFresh, sent a wonderful big box. Everything was fresh, like nothing was moldy or spoiled, or all the vegetables were fresh. Everything packed away nicely, ice packs, perfect. We had 3 meals, each of them, I would say, very good to outstanding. I was full. It wasn't like I was like dying for seconds. It wasn't like you gave you like a tiny. No, you're getting a decent portion. You're not going to be starving. I will say this: leftovers really didn't occur, which is good because they usually sit in our refrigerator and fucking get tossed out. And using the code VOW16, which we did, and going to HelloFresh.com/VOW16, we saved a significant amount. Now, it is based off of the meal plan that you pick. You can pick up like a 3-meal plan, a 4-meal plan, whatever suits, whatever floats your boat. But the savings are significant. Not kidding. So I urge you, if you are sick and tired of trying to figure out what the fuck you want to have for dinner, if you are in a relationship where that question comes up, what do you want to have for dinner? If you're single and you're like, I'm tired of eating garbage, let me suggest Damon approved HelloFresh. Go to HelloFresh.com/VOW16. Put in that code VOW16 just like I did. Save some bucks. Get the food delivered to your door. Fresh. Easy. I mean, I'm telling you, the directions are so easy. We were like, this is fantastic. It's a no-brainer. Give it a try. Give it a try. I really feel like I don't think there's a person listening to this that couldn't benefit from a service like this. I kid you not. And I'm dead 100% serious. This might be the most serious read I do, which is not really a read. I'm just doing it. So again, HelloFresh.com/VOW16. Put in the code VOW16. Correct me if I'm wrong, Joel, up to 16 free meals and 3 free gifts, right?
Correctamundo, yes.
How about that? So we know our stuff here. So thank you, HelloFresh. I urge everyone to get on board, save some bucks, have some great dinners. Send us some pictures. You know what I mean? Send us some pictures. We love the photos of the pictures of the HelloFresh dinners. And trust me, I think you'll enjoy it. Again, savings at HelloFresh.com/VOW16. Use the code VOW16. Get on board, up to 16 free meals, 3 free gifts. HelloFresh.com.
Let's move on to the world of New Japan Pro Wrestling. A few little news tidbits. Let's talk about one Gabe Kidd. Boots Leprechaun says, how much money would it take to sit cross-legged in front of Gabe? And that is my question. Faces and Feel says, is that Gabe Kidd post the best promo we've seen out of a New Japan roster member since Jay's post-match at Wrestle Kingdom? I think myself and you and lots of other people have been enjoying Gabe Kidd's output recently. He's been talking a lot of trash. The Rest Things Extra podcast, 2 hours of really, really interesting stuff from Gabe. I thought basically all of it was, I found personally, really, really fascinating. Just an insight into his life, how he got into wrestling, the struggles that he's had. Just little things like him normalizing having a therapist. Good for him. Like actually having wrestlers talk about that, I think is really important. But also, Gabe is kind of scary now. Again, not in a bad way, but he looks like the sort of guy who'd start a fight in an empty room.
Yeah. First, that interview was very good. And I don't even know if it was the interview that was really good, but it was the relaxed nature. Like it wasn't really an interview, right? It was more like I guess kind of like I don't want to say what we do, but in the sense of, all right, let's hit record and let's have a bunch of guys talk pro wrestling, which was fun. Which makes it a little bit more relaxed, I guess, right? A little easy flowing. Yeah, you see, like he came across as a guy that you want to root for, right? He really did. Yeah, so I would say I would recommend going out of your way to look for that interview. Secondly, yeah, it does seem like he's ramping up the I don't want to. It's not tough guy. It's not a tough guy persona. That's certainly not it. But he's let's put it this way. He feels more involved. He feels more involved. Yeah.
He's not scared of anyone, and he just wants to go out there and have a fight.
Yeah.
And it's almost like he doesn't really care who wins or loses, as long as there's going to be a punch up at some point, and strikes will be exchanged, and they're going to hurt each other. Then he'll be happy, and it's like the result of the match is inconsequential.
What was your favorite part of the interview?
I just enjoyed him getting extremely upset at people doing the shibata pose, like the vitriol he had towards Daniel Garcia was quite something. I'll tell you. I mean, I don't know if this is a work. I'm assuming it is. Anytime anything like this happens in wrestling, I assume it's a work. And good for him if it is. But if it isn't, I mean, he was just shooting his shots at everyone. But yeah, Gabe Kidd versus Daniel Garcia, if it happens down the line, whether that's on Strong or whatever, was one I'm going to be circling in the calendar.
Yeah, I would agree. That was a highlight. You know what else I really liked? Like him talking about the Eddie Kingston match. And how he felt overwhelmed when it came to the positive feedback, because
how to deal with praise,
right? There were more than times like that. I was like, wow, I can definitely relate, my man. I could definitely relate. I mean, because the flowers we get sent to us on a fucking daily basis for this show alone. I mean, God, how do I handle it?
Everyone adores us, Damon.
Oh, my goodness.
Reddit saying how wonderful we are, how great our podcast is. We don't know what to do with that information. It just puts unnecessary pressure on us.
It really does. I'll tell you what, all that aside, I got some direct messages from a certain individual. I'll leave nameless for right now, who was telling me how much he enjoyed the accident story involving the ramen and all that. That this person went on a date. He's been on a few dates with this one particular person, and he told the story to this young lady, and she was and she was laughing so hard at the story that then he played the show for her, and she loved the bit. She loved the whole thing, laughing her ass off. So that alone makes it worthwhile for me. That alone. So, listen, Reddit can get right up the street. If they don't like it, whatever. When I get those kind of messages, I'll send you those. I don't want to disclose who. But when you get those messages, that kind of is like, I feel like I'm doing the Lord's work. I feel like I'm putting out good stuff, for people to enjoy.
Talking about travel restrictions on the topic next, there is some whispers, some reports from Japan saying that quarantine is going to be reduced for incoming travelers and business travelers from 7 days to 3 days. There are some talks that people who've been triple vaccinated won't have to quarantine at all. But with all these things, I'll believe it when I see it. But it does sound like it's moving in the right direction. We have New Japan Cup around the corner, Damon. And so Bash says, with travel hopefully opening up in Japan, which guys from Strong would you like to see in New Japan Cup? Personally,
all of them.
Tom, Jonah, Gabe, Connors and Ren to make things juicy. If travel hasn't opened up, do we see some spots filled up with guys from other promotions in Japan? So, yeah, we would assume that these announcements will be coming up soon. Something we've talked about before. It is the 50th anniversary.
Right.
What do you say to a 50-man New Japan Cup? And if so, let's say they can't bring in anyone from abroad, how would they fill up those roster spots?
Fucking the first 3 rows. Cork and Hall or Chris Charlton is in the tournament as well.
Trevor Sugabayashi's got to lace up his boots.
Yep. What are you gonna do?
But seriously, do you think they're making the call to Noah to fill up spots in this cup?
Well, let's be honest here. We have heard rumors that the New Japan Cup was going to be broadened with entries. Now, that's not geographic or promotion. That just means the number is going to increase. Whether that happens or not, I cannot confirm. But if the word on the street is accurate, and the restrictions aren't lifted in enough time, they almost have to, don't they? Like, they don't have a roster that can, like, even if they put everybody on the fucking roster in New Japan Cup, if what they want to do, they don't have the bodies, right? So you would think logic would say, okay, we need other people to hop on board here, and I think all fingers point to Noah. But that raises another question then, Joel. We saw just on Wrestle Kingdom Night 3 how unbelievably ridiculous some of the booking was and how lopsided it felt. And it would have been a perfect opportunity to build to, if New Japan Cup was a possibility, wouldn't we want to do the right thing and stir up interest and have some people lie down on the New Japan side at a little more frequent pace? So I would be skeptical. Because people have to lose, right? People are going to have to be pinned.
Yeah. Based on how Wrestle Kingdom Night 3 went, I don't think New Japan are keen on having many of their roster members lose to Noah people. I would say there's about 5 people that they would say, yeah, sure, you can pin them. And I think we saw most of that happening on Night 3.
Right, correct. So, I mean, that would leave some doubt in my mind. Now, if we're already seeing in the States where mask mandates, a lot of things are being lifted, like proof of vaccination lifted, mask mandates lifted, Las Vegas, Philadelphia, if I'm not mistaken, New York, lots of places are falling in line with that. So, I hope, because I hate to say it, we kind of need a little shot in the arm. And I know people, if the right people find a way to get over there, it would be a shot in the arm. And I think people would be interested in it. And if they get a little bit creative and think outside the box, again, I'm asking a lot here. If they did do that, that could make for an interesting time in New Japan Cup. New Japan Cup's a great opportunity for guys who might not be getting that boost, that push at the given moment, but guys that are, everybody has circled on there. Okay, are these the next guys to take the next step? New Japan Cup's a perfect opportunity for that. So fingers crossed.
And the last thing is a question, well, lots of questions actually. Spannerhead says, does the C in New Japan Cup stand for Cody? Dr. Gary says, will Cody coming back to New Japan be worse than Evil / House of Torture bullshit or just as bad? Velk says, please, Joel, fantasy book new Cody Rhodes NJPW run on Strong. Classic Cat says, how excited are you to see the Cody Rhodes back in New Japan? When do you think he joins House of Torture? Third Chuckle Brother says, how many domes a month will New Japan be able to run with Cody as the new booker and Brandy as new chief branding officer? And Andrew says, how many royal families does wrestling have? Obviously, most of our listeners will have seen the news that Cody and Brandy Rhodes have allegedly left All Elite Wrestling. Strong rumours they're going to return to WWE. But if that doesn't happen, Damon, would you take Cody back in New Japan?
I don't see why not. I'm going to be honest with you. I don't see why not. I don't know why he's fallen sour to a lot of people. Like he was like the golden goose before, wasn't he? He could do no wrong, and we would get slammed for saying, not really adding much here. I mean, seriously, you put him on top on some of these, Chicago shows or the Texas show, or you get him in the mix on the Chicago show. I don't know if you put him on top, but you mean to tell me that's not a name that people recognize and we can, we could use? I think so. I can't hand wave it at this point, right? Again, do I want to go out of my way and make him fucking champion? I don't know. I don't think so. But I don't see how that could be a bad thing. I really don't.
I'd make him strong champion.
I would.
Get a bit of
why not?
shine on that.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, you people would have a problem with a Tom Lawler Cody Rhodes feud. Well, I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. I'm going to be truthful with you though. I'm more shocked that he left. To be honest, like that to me, that news was more shocking than when you pulled the Shane McMahon thing. You know what I mean? Like I'm surprised that couldn't have gotten worked out. Here's the thing: it still can get worked out, right? I'm sure there's. I would put money on it that it does get worked out. I really do. But no, I would have no problem. None. I mean, what problem would people have with that? At this point in the game, people would have a problem with that? I wouldn't.
Yeah, we've been so traumatized by all this House of Torture stuff that Cody's a breath of fresh air. Yeah, bring him in. He's a great wrestler.
Right. At this point, I mean, again, do I make him my top guy? Of course not. Do I put him on strong, have a nice feud? Absolutely. Would I put him on each and every one of these fucking US shows? Absolutely. Would I have him in New Japan Cup? Yeah, if you wanted to. Yeah, I would. Would I put him in G1? Let's see who else we got. Let's see what happens with COVID. But you get my point, though. I mean, look, when people were complaining about Cody Rhodes in New Japan, we had a very, very, very deep roster, didn't we? Like the idea of having Cody Rhodes on a show really seemed unnecessary, right? We were hitting on all cylinders, weren't we? And it felt like he was an add-on to a lot of the elite stuff and the Kenny stuff and all that. It seemed like he came with the fucking goods. This point in the game, well, this promotion is not even in near where they were. I see absolutely nothing. I don't see a negative to it. I really don't. And again, unless we're going to do nonsense and give him a belt that we really don't want to give him. But Joe, you'd give him the U.S. title?
I'd probably give him any of those titles, to be honest.
Yeah.
I'm not sure about him dethroning Okada. I think Cody beating Okada clean might be a step too far, but let's say he loses it to, I don't know, Ibushi, and then we run back the Hanson battle and Ibushi loses it to Cody. Sure, why the fuck not?
Yeah. I mean, here's the thing too. I think bringing in Cody with Strong is a big difference than bringing in Cody to feud with Juice Robinson. Right? I don't know. I just I don't see it. I don't see the problem in it. So I would do it. Yes.
Okay, let's just briefly talk about New Japan Strong then. So this was the New Beginning USA tour. We had a first match with Hikuleo defeating Cody Chun. Hikuleo, he seemingly looks in better shape each time I see him. I mean, initially for this match, I was going to comment on how Cody Chun did a great job bumping for Hikuleo and making him look like a monster, but I was actually surprised about how much offense Chun got in his comeback. Hikuleo gave him a lot before finally putting him away, so I thought it was a pretty impressive debut from Cody Chun, definitely worth a callback in the future. And the fact that it wasn't a pure squash makes me think the company might well feel the same way. The next match, we had Josh Barnett defeating Ren Narita. And I know you don't love these Josh Barnett matches, Damon, but I dig them. They feel like a special occasion. I wouldn't want full cards of them, mind you, but when you only get them every couple of months or so, and he's handpicking his opponents, it sort of feels like it's his seal of approval. The fact that he's picked someone to have that kind of match with him makes me think I should sit up and take notice of the opponent. And obviously that applies to Ren Narita, who we know has got a big, bright future ahead of him. And I just like having the difference in style. I mean, you get a bit of the amateur-style grappling, some submission scrambles, a bit of stiff striking. There were some meaty suplexes in there. And this is the kind of style I think that Ren Narita will be specialising in going forward. So I thought this was a good showcase of that. I was naively hoping Narita would win. At some point, I think he does need a big signature win because everything else is there. I think you could send him back to the main roster tomorrow, but he does need a big win to set him off. But aside from that, I think he's ready. And then,
I'm sorry.
Yeah?
No, I was just going to touch on the Josh Barnett thing. I see your point, and I would agree with the statement of used sparingly. I don't know. Like, to me, the Josh Barnett seal of approval, if this were 10 years ago, maybe I'd be, I'd be a little bit more excited by it. Like, I'm okay. You know what I mean? And again, you're wrestling that style because you're wrestling that style. Like you have a Josh Barnett match, you have a Josh Barnett match, and you know what you're getting. And I guess you can make a similar argument to other people, like Zach, right? You kind of know what you're getting to a certain degree. I don't know. I just he's a guy that is legitimate, and he does give an air of legitimacy, and I get that, and I can appreciate that. I just sometimes think that's somewhat overplayed in my mind. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, okay, we get it. You're a wrestler. We get it. I don't know. It just does. I don't know, and I don't know why I complain about it. Because,
excuse me, former UFC heavyweight champion.
Yes,
lest we forget.
Yes, listen. I'm not doubting his credentials. Please don't take it that way. He could hang my ass to me in a fucking heartbeat. He can hang a lot of people's asses to anybody. It's just, I don't know. Like the same things that I am kind of hand waving with him are the same things I get a boner over with, like a guy like, I don't know, like Lesnar. So I don't know what my problem is with that. I don't know. Maybe it's because he's just one of those guys that kind of is not really a new. I mean, what does that mean? All right, I love Josh Barnett. Okay, great.
Yes,
you won me over.
1 point for me.
There you go.
Okay. Main event was Finn Juice defeating Bad Dude Tito and Jonah. It was fine.
How was Tito?
It was good. I like him. I think he is a guy who has a future in strong as a sort of mid-card heel, sort of on that Bateman level.
Yeah, exactly.
And, I mean, in terms of his upside, how old is he?
73, I think, right? Just turned.
I don't know. I can't find how old he is. I'm on his cage match profile, but it doesn't have his age there. But
that's how we.
Why not? I mean, this is the thing. When this travel opens up, this is a conversation I was having with Karen Sensei on Twitter, that I would want immediately put the LA Dojo boys and Team Filthy straight into the full-time Japan roster, or at least for a tour. But she made the point that, maybe you need those LA Dojo guys as a draw, as an attraction for selling tickets to these strong tapings and US special shows. So,
all right, let me counterpoint that for 1 second, if you don't mind. How many tickets are we talking here? We don't have to sell.
Well, yeah. I was going to say, I don't think there's many people as great talent as those lads are. I don't think there's too many people saying, "Oh, I've got to see Alex Coughlin, Clark Connors." That's the tickets flying off the rails, and that's no criticism of them at all, because I think they're fantastic, but just they don't have the name value for that to be a factor to me personally. But my point was going to be, I think they need guys like your Bad Dude Titos and your Barrett Browns and people like that one, be your next generation of domestic guys, and two, to sort of fill up the roster so you can have things like little mid-card feuds and the like. So I think it does play an important role for that. So yes, bad dude Tito fan right here.
Nice. I like that. I think there's a hierarchy of people who are going to Japan and people who are holding down the fort for at least the time being, right? Like, and there's probably 8, 10 guys that easily we could rattle off that, yep, send them, get them on a plane, see you there. And then the rest, yes, the rest will hold down the fort for the time being here, and let's see what happens. And it's not like people can't go back and forth. Some of them, you don't have to stay there forever. You don't have to spend a year there, but I think they would breathe a huge breath of fresh air into a promotion. Like, just imagine them showing up in any capacity, really. Just stirring the pot a little bit. I think that would be fun. And I think the majority of the people that we're talking about, the fans in Japan, are already pretty familiar with, right? Like, of those 7, 8, 9, 10 guys, I think a lot of them are they're not going to be any. There's not going to be any problem remembering who these people are.
Sticking with the US for a moment, Multiverse A says, how much interest do you have in Jay White's involvement with AEW and Impact? On Friday and Saturday, 3 matches of his will air for 3 major promotions. Also, he may play a factor into the Good Brothers versus GOD match for Impact Tag Team Gold. I'm into it. I'm into the AEW stuff. That's, I think, put his name in the spotlight a bit and generated some buzz and excitement for him. So I think better that than having feuds on products that not many people are watching. So I'm keen on it. I don't know where it's going to end up. If we're going to get something like a Jay White versus, I don't know, Adam Cole or something, I definitely watch that. I think that'll be good.
Well, I'm glad I broke that news for everyone.
Yeah, 4 months ago.
4 months
we got the scoops.
I mean, what the fuck you people want? Yes, I mean, look, I'm going to give you a point counterpoint all in one thought. One, obviously, the good that you just explained. Right, this is national television. Everything that you would want to be on, he's in the mix, and he's in a mix with, arguably the top guys in the promotion. We're feeling pretty good about that. He is the most un-New Japan guy at this point, right? Like, I'm going to be truthful. He does not feel like a New Japan guy to me. Like, I did not get excited with him showing up thinking, oh my God, New Japan's going to get some great pub on this. Like, I don't consider him a New Japan guy anymore. Like, does he feel like a New Japan guy to you?
Yeah, not really.
No. Right. I was excited to see him. I was excited to see where this goes. I was excited.
He's a good wrestler, and I like watching good wrestling matches.
Yeah, absolutely. But do I feel like this is a shot in the arm for New Japan and the fucking Forbidden Door yapping? I got
we should point out that the whole Forbidden Door thing was just Hiroshi Tanahashi trying to do a cheeky little shout out to a ramen shop.
That's true.
To Tokyo Dome that he likes.
Yeah, that was funny that we got that info. Look, again, do we know what this relationship will look like 6 months from now? We do not. Do we know how involved other wrestlers and we do not. I would say we can enjoy the ride. I'm just giving you my feelings on this of as I saw it, I was excited for Jay White. I was excited for the fact that this is another, look, you tune into pro wrestling for moments like that. You know what I mean? Like, you tune in for those things, and AEW has delivered, consistently on that. Like those moments are, AEW used to own for, more than a few months. So those are fun. They're fucking exciting. That's why we're fans of this shit. I do a New Japan Pro Wrestling podcast with a guy named Joel. I didn't feel like that was a New Japan spotlight moment. I don't know. Just maybe because he's been out of the spotlight. Maybe it's because it doesn't feel like he's like a part of the promotion. Maybe if just I don't know. And that's just me feeling it. If you the listener felt otherwise, okay. I didn't. I felt like it was an exciting pro wrestling moment that we'll see if New Japan can somehow capitalize on. I did see them really pushing that fucking Bullet Club merch afterward.
As soon as he appeared on AEW TV, it's like, buy our merchandise.
yeah, that's for fucking sure. I mean, listen, that's just smart business. But yeah, good for Jay. I mean, he's got the farm life, got AEW now, got some TV time. The guy's got the fucking life, the life.
Let us move over to Japan then to talk about the New Year's Golden Series. So 2 shows I wanted to discuss there. Friday, February 11th in Miyagi, in the Zebbio Arena, Sendai. Ryohei Oiwa is getting a lot of buzz. I think we should start paying attention to his matches because I've heard a lot of people online saying this guy is special.
Okay.
And a lot of wrestlers talking about that as well.
Why is that?
I don't know. I didn't watch it. Moving on then. Other stuff on the cards. We have Great Okan in a singles match against Satoshi Kojima. He beat him in 11 minutes with the Eliminator. He's had this run of singles matches. He's had about 12 singles matches since Wrestle Kingdom.
Yeah.
Because obviously he can't be multi-man tag matches because none of his stable mates are available to wrestle in Japan. So I mentioned on Twitter maybe an early candidate for Unsung because most wrestlers are used to having that relative downtime and being able to work the multi-man tag matches. But no, it's just pure singles matches for Okan. So I'm hoping for a good showing from him in the New Japan Cup. He's been using that elbow spot that took out Nakashima in the matches for teasing near falls, which has been good. So yeah, he's been working very, very hard with this string of singles matches. So well done, Great Okan. Skipping forward, the 6th match on this show, we had Tiger Mask defeating Gedo in 50 minutes, 20 seconds with a reverse double armbar. This is a match that on paper looked horrible, but it managed to be more than the sum of its parts. It was like cheeky shenanigans between 2 veterans who'd probably rather not be wrestling a 15-minute singles match, but they managed to have a bit of fun, make it enjoyable, not least for Gedo's kitty cat trash talk. He's one of these wrestlers who just gives a running expletive-filled commentary to his own matches, and I've always got a soft spot for that. The way he drags the ref into it and almost makes the referee complicit in it, which then paid off with Kenta Sato pretending to have something caught in his eye while Tiger Mask used a belt to attack Gedo. But we can't ignore the fact that these 2 guys having a singles match in the first place is a bit of an indictment on the state of the roster right now. But they did make chicken salad out of chicken poo. So well done to those 2. The 7th match was Sho defeating Yo in 22 minutes.
Holy Hannah.
With the Shocker. Look, I said
I'll let you go. I'll let you go. Go ahead, please. Floor is yours.
The previous match was an example of something that looked bad on paper, but turned out to be more than the sum of its parts. And this is the exact opposite of that. Because, I mean, we remember the show that was tearing it up with Shingo in 2020. And remember the Yo, who had his best ever match, 2-3 months ago with Hiromu in the Best of Super Juniors final?
Yeah.
So these 2 really talented wrestlers who've been teaming for nearly 4 years, with how good they both are, you would expect their blow-off match and their singles feud to be great.
Oh, wait. I just want to be clear. This is the blow-off match?
Well,
this one is the blow-off. Okay.
Because I think this is the 4th singles match they've had.
Fuck.
They've got progressively worse. Mm-hmm. And how is that possible? And I'll tell you how. It's been booked into oblivion with House of Torture bullshit, because they both worked hard enough, but it was such a dog's dinner by the end with all the run-in and the interferences and the cheating and stuff. I was profoundly depressed afterwards and genuinely reconsidered my fandom of this company. Because they're good together. The first match they had was really good. Their Best of the Super Juniors match was good. But the feud has just turned into the proverbial dead horse being flogged. No progression for either wrestler. It's either Yo overcomes the odds, he looks like he's about to push on, then they have a rematch for some reason. I don't know why Yo would agree to a rematch after he's already beaten him twice on the spin. because he's already proven he's the better wrestler. So they have a match again, Show cheats and he wins. Nobody gets over. We're just back to square one. And I don't think anybody has benefited from this feud. All this shit, I don't know who it's for. Who likes this? Because I hate it. And in a lot of ways, it's 2022 New Japan in a nutshell, which is, it's stinky dog shit spread very, very thinly. And I know not all the matches are like this. Most of the wrestlers are working hard. Some of the matches are good. But it's this kind of crap. It's a real slap in the face to fans like me who watch most of the content. And I'm telling you, it is driving the fans away. You just look at the replies and quote tweets to me complaining about this match. And you know how much people like to argue with me on Twitter and contradict me. I did not get a single person saying to me, well, actually, this was a good match. David, this is literally indefensible. And from the few Japanese tweets I've seen, the home fans hate it too. I'm serious. Someone in the company needs to sit down with whoever's booking this, whether it's Dick Togo or whoever is responsible, tell them it is going to cost them. And the clap crowds and limited rosters, I don't want to hear it. There's no excuse for this.
There really isn't. And here's the sad part about it, Joel, is that, we sat here and tongue-in-cheek joked about it and, kind of gave the worst case scenario of, even when you were going through these cards, going through these lineups, and you hear me huffing and puffing and sighing and, oh, Jesus, rolling my eyes, and we laughed and we fucking, again, we talked about a worst case scenario. They did it. They actually did the worst case scenario. Look, if we turned back the hands of time and said, okay, we were all waiting for the Roppongi Vice split up, or not the Roppongi Vice, Roppongi 3K split up. We were all looking for better things for both guys. We had concerns about Yo. Would he be able to, after the feud was done, what would he be doing? All things that I think a good pro wrestling fan does. I have no interest in either of these guys. I would give money to see the motherfucking Tempura Boys again. How's that? How's that for nonstick? I mean, that's where I'm at. It's preposterous that anyone in this company would think, yep, that match, the purpose for the match, the execution of the match, any of it would be a good idea for not only people watching at home, but for the participants in the ring. It was everything that is wrong with this company right now encapsulated in 12 minutes, right? And here's the thing too. This is not like a guy who's sitting here talking about his hockey team, or a guy sitting here talking about his baseball team, or a young lady talking about her favorite basketball team. This is not what this is. This is pro wrestling. You have the opportunity to do it right every night, right? And here's another thing that really is starting to drive me nuts, Joe. And tell me if you've this idea of oh, well, we aren't in the business, so we don't know what's, that's, to me, when I see that and I hear that, it's amazing. I'm going to tell you right now, Joel, in the past year with the crowds that New Japan has had, I might have wrestled, I didn't wrestle, but I may have participated on wrestling shows with maybe the same amount of fans or more. Okay? So, I mean, I'm not saying I've been there, but come on. My point being is that it doesn't take a weatherman to tell you which way the wind blows, right? There's a famous line for you kids. Google that. Bad is bad. And this was as bad as it gets for all the reasons that you just talked about and that we predicted would happen just last week. And that's the crying shame about it. They couldn't even recognize that this is not a good thing, not a good idea. Again, for not only the people watching, for the people in the ring itself.
Finally, a bed that senses snoring and automatically responds. Meet the Ergo Smart Base from Tempur-Pedic, our first system that detects snoring, then automatically adjusts by raising the bed. Get your best sleep all night, every night. For a limited time, save up to $500 on select adjustable mattress sets and experience the deep, undisturbed sleep of Tempur-Pedic. Get full offer details at TempurPedic.com.
And that left a bad taste in my mouth coming on to the main event, which was the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship match. El Desperado successfully defending against Master Wato after 28 minutes and 50 seconds with the numero dos. Elliot says, am I being unfairly critical of Wato due to past performances, or does the poor guy always seem to have at least two awkward mishaps in every one of his matches? It's the same thing slightly true of many other New Japan wrestlers who don't have the same reputation. But yeah, two issues here. So first of all, the Yo versus Show match killed the show for me. But putting that to one side, I rewatched this one last night. It is a really, really good match. The story was good. Selling was good. I thought Wato showed great intensity, some really fun sequences there with his sort of lucha influence. There was no danger of Despy losing, though, and especially in front of a clap crowd, you can feel that energy where it just sort of feels like an exhibition match that you know the ending of, rather than a high-stakes title match. And Wato, he's still not there yet. He's close. He's so close. He's working really hard. He's improving a lot. But he still has this tendency to try to do things that he's not able to pull off smoothly, which yanks you right out of the match. And exactly as Elliot says, I agree with him. I counted them, just two spots in the middle of the match. That was it. Those were the only flaws in there. Everything else about his performance was spot on. Really, really good. But I feel that because this keeps happening consistently, right now he cannot be a top singles competitor in the division. He's not there yet. He's not a million miles away. I think if you take this performance minus those two mistakes with a better gimmick, and you got something special there. But we're not there yet. And Kevin Kelly said that Wato is in the same spot that Despy was in 2014. And I agree with that. So, I mean, what do you do with him now? I guess it's back to the junior tag division, and we'll see him again during Best of the Super Juniors, because I guess that's something that worked for Despy. So he was able to sort of build up his confidence and skill set working in that tag team with Kanemaru. They became well established, and then he was ready to become a consistent singles junior star. But what do you think, Damon? Are we being too critical, or do you think that having these two mistakes per match is a problem?
Well, I mean, even if we looked at it from a two guys yelling in a microphone point of view, even if you're just, and I'll put in air quotes, a fan, and you see that on a consistent basis, wouldn't, like, in your mind be like, oh, well, this guy's not a good wrestler? And I put that in air quotes. So, yeah, he's not as good as all these other guys where I don't see those errors on a consistent basis. Now,
yeah, the only other people we see it consistently from is Sanada, and we call him out for that as well.
We do. Now, if you're looking at it from a sharp wrestling fan point of view, look, it is what it is. He's not. I don't know if I go out of my way to point at the flaws. Like, I'm not sitting there watching a Master Wato match, and the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. But there it is. That's not. I'm not doing that. But when it happens, I feel bad for him because he's trying very hard. But I also feel bad for the people that he's in the ring with as well, who now have to find a way to cover up for these missteps. And good professional wrestlers can do that, but even the best of them, it's a tough thing to do, right? To kind of hit that, find a way to cover up the flub and then get back on the horse with this match. Let's be honest here. There's one, and I'm not putting them in the same level, but if we're being honest here, like, and thank God no one's really been hurt seriously yet. but there are more than a few pro wrestlers in the United States that have been crucified for sloppy work, right? And when it happens, they are just taken to the woodshed. And we sit here on a high horse with a lot of these new, the dojo's the best system and blah blah blah. Okay, that's fair. He shouldn't be at where he's at. I hate to say it. As hard as he's trying, it's just too often and it's too glaring, Joel, to put this, like, you're not going to put the fucking title on this guy, are you? You would never, not at this point. Like, what do you do with him? You have to keep him in here's the thing, you can't even put him in a tag situation, because in a tag situation, you're like, okay, just do these things that you can do well, and we'll have somebody make up the difference. I don't think that's the problem. I think he just tries to do too much, and he gets all discombobulated. And I'm sorry, that at this point in his career, that shouldn't happen. It's just, I don't know. It doesn't look, I can't believe I'm going to say this. It just doesn't look New Japanish, does it?
Yeah, we expect, I think, a certain standard from at least main event title matches in this company.
We really do.
As we come on to talk about the never open weight lumberjack match.
Right. But you get my point, right? I mean, there's a certain level you have to hit, and I don't think he hits it.
I'm going to be optimistic. I think he will get there eventually. I think if you compare where he was 12 months ago to where he is now, you can see huge improvements. And again, I do think he was really good at, like, everything else is really good, just apart from those two botches. But Destiny was perfect, by the way. Let's point out, I think he's one of the best in the world right now at doing a coherent leg match. And I thought the leg work in this match was great. It played into the finish, so I loved it. He said he wants to face T-Hawk and El Lindemann. He's also invited Kanemaru to challenge him at some point. So, yeah, he's just talking shit, you think?
Come on, right? All right, let's go on with this lumberjack match.
Okay, so this was a Sunday show, February 13th in Osaka, the Edion Arena, Osaka. So there's not really much to talk about from the undercard. So they did the Heyman special with the Tiger Mask, ELP, and Robbie Eagles Ishimori match. I thought Robbie Eagles Ishimori was really good. Just 11 minutes, very, very fun. Good stuff there. High pace, high intensity. And then the seventh match, it was Evil defeating Tomohiro Ishii in the Never Championship Lumberjack match in 20 minutes, 35 seconds. Now, look, Lumberjack matches are usually shite. The one I remember in recent history, I'll say recent, Michael Elgin against Suzuki in Destruction 2017, which was just horrible, a horrible match. Yeah. But I think the stipulation worked for the story here. I think the Chaos backup, having those guys ringside, added an interesting twist to the expected House of Torture interference, because you know that's coming, but I thought having the Chaos guys there sort of played into it well, and they didn't look like idiots, which is one of the few things I ask for. I really enjoyed the running sequence later on in the match where everyone came in one by one and hit their finishes on each other. It was very, what's the thing I'm thinking of? When it was like WWF versus the Alliance in late 2001, where everyone came in the ring and just hitting their finishing moves on each other sequentially. And the closing stretch, right? We got LIJ Evil back. It was the same feel, the same energy as that New Year's Dash 2020 tag match.
Agreed.
With these two going at it. A little bit of the finisher dancing at the end, but I'm giving them a pass because they whacked each other really hard. They were working hard. I would call this a clean win. Not a clean match, but I would call it a clean win because there was no shenanigans in the closing 5 minutes. It was 5 minutes of pure wrestling. No House of Torture shenanigans. And that proves that when push comes to shove, Evil is still a tough motherfucker who knows how to wrestle and brawl. He could put away a mid-carder like Ishii, which is absolutely necessary for us to take him seriously as a top guy. And Damon, you might remember in the build to Wrestle Kingdom 15, before the Evil Sonata match, I was saying Evil desperately needed a clean finish, a clean win over a guy of that level, just to show us that he can do it. I mean, better late than never. We finally got it a year later. Now, what I'm not saying give us an immediate babyface turn. He can still do the cheating shit from time to time, but don't make it a copy-paste, spoilers choker, evil nutshot every single time. You've got to be creative and mix in a few clean finishes. Keep us on our toes. Toe that line with a tension between the evil who wants to cut corners and the evil who's perfectly capable of beating the shit out of his opponent and winning by himself. You know, this
1,000%.
I keep talking about the William Faulkner thing, the human heart in conflict with himself. It's the only kind of drama to tell. So, David, I'm not expecting things to change significantly, but I was wondering your thoughts. Do you think this closing sequence was so different to any of Evil's other wins since his turn that it made you raise an eyebrow and think, this is different? Because the website played it up, the social media's playing it up. Luke writes in and says, is Evil being Ishii that way a new trend or a one-off to shut people up? I mean, that did occur to you. Maybe they saw my tweets about Show versus Young. They're like, guys, we've got to do something. Joel's not happy. But what did you think of the match, the closing sequence, and what does this mean for Evil moving forward?
Well, look, it's about time, right? I think everybody is in agreement with that. And I agree, this was a clean 5-minute win, right? A definitive exclamation point. And you're right. If Evil is going to be one of your guys, and I say your guys, New Japan's guys, yes, he has to beat cleanly and definitively guys like Ishii. It's just, you have to. Like, if he has to cheat to beat them, look, again, it's pro wrestling. We get it. Cheating occurs. We get it. There's nothing wrong with that, but use it sparingly. Like, Evil should need to cheat to beat Okada, Tanahashi, Naito, stuff like that, right? But to beat an Ishii or I don't know, who pick a guy, fucking Goto, he's above them in the pecking order. He should be able to beat them without any help. Now, I did think it was funny that we finally saw chaos at ringside and we needed a lumberjack stipulation to make sure everyone can go out there and help defend the fellow chaos guy. Okay, finally. But it had to be a clause in the match. I thought the match was let me take that back. I thought the last 5 minutes were refreshing and solid and, dare I say, good, right? You need these wins over guys that Evil should be beating. Now, again, would it be even better if down the road he beat guys that were even a little bit higher than him on the pecking order cleanly? Yep, I would have no problem with that as well. Again, the problem isn't the interference. The problem and the House of Torture bullshit, that's not the problem. It's when you do it and how often you do it. That's the issue. And here they were smart. They fucking used their heads and had Evil beat a guy that he should be beating. Now, even though, let's put it this way. Wrestle Kingdom, Ishii's coming in with a title. Evil wins it. Okay. But right now, as we sit here, unless they're dropping that title again, Evil should be pinning Ishii. Period.
Here's something to think about. William says, after discovering that Mr. Togo has a Twitter, do we need to politely tag him in all House of Torture related discussions or leave him our helpful feedback in his comment section?
I gotta be honest with you. Don't you hate people who tag wrestlers? Ugh.
The snitch taggers.
Oh my goodness. They're the dirt worst human beings. I mean, seriously. Like what? Like, ugh. Are you so lonely that you have to tag wrestlers? Ugh. Leave them alone. They don't care about you. Trust me. What was my point?
Let's move on. Main event of this show was it was a tag match with Tanahashi and Okada, beaten by Sanada and Naito, 33 minutes 28 seconds. It was fine. It was three great wrestlers, one okay wrestler, and they had a pretty good main event. Any other thoughts?
I thought it was good. I know
it was good. It was good. It lived up to my expectations.
You just thought do you think it was a little paint by numbers?
No, it was not as. There's not really much to say about it, is there?
Okay, all right. Well, I guess not. I thought it was the best match of the year. What do you think of
It's straight to number one. All right, let's preview then the big matches we've got coming up in Hokkaido this weekend. So we got Saturday, February 19th. Scrolling through the cards. Read all the matches.
Oh my God.
We're going straight to the sixth match. We got IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Championship 4-way match with Flying Tigers, Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles defending against the cutest tag team, ELP and Ishimori, Wato and Taguchi, and Kanemaru Desperado. So who do you think wins? What are your expectations going into this?
Wouldn't it be nice to see Wato turn on Taguchi?
What, and have the singles run that you say that he's not good enough to have at the moment?
He's not, but here's the thing. Let's put it this way. Let me ask you this. Let's do gimmick flip. I think Master Wato would be a better show than Show is. What do you think of that?
Tell me more. Please.
Okay. So we're going to work a style, cheating, a little brawling, mix in some pro wrestling stuff, right? Be a heel, all that stuff, right? Like, don't you think that that's a perfect fit? And be a little protected, right? In some of the things that you do and don't do. And, you got a lot of smoke and mirrors and shit, and highlight, and we're going to push and promote the good things that you do, and we're going to hide the things that you're struggling with right now, right? You're a heel. You can feud with Taguchi. Taguchi is an experienced pro wrestler who, quite honestly, could get the best out of you in this little feud, right? Wouldn't that make more sense than Show, who's wasting away in a gimmick that hinders him and handcuffs him and is not putting him in the best light? Wouldn't Master Wato be a better fit for that role?
Well, that depends on if he can pull funny faces or not.
Oh, he can pull funny. If he pulls funny faces walking to the fucking ring, you kidding me?
I actually think that Wato and Taguchi are going to win this. I think they're going to become the 69th, because they will be the 69th junior tag champions.
Well, okay, but what about all the squabbling in the back and Wato saying he doesn't want to be a tag with them and all that? We're going to flush that down the toilet?
No smoke without fire. You could be onto something there.
That's what I'm saying. Turn Wato heel. Turn Wato heel. That's hashtag turn him heel.
Do you think we're getting new champions here? Because I kind of think they probably, just with the sort of travel restrictions and everything, maybe.
So I couldn't tell you who the champion is now.
It's the Tiger Mask and Robbie Eagles.
That's right. I forgot. Yeah, maybe. Well, listen, we just opened the show with them opening up. Right?
Yeah, okay. Well, maybe I'm talking out my backside. Wouldn't be the first time. I think this will be a fun match. I'm looking forward to it. And I think Wato and Taguchi are going to win.
Okay. I will say I'm going to go with my bookie long shot of the week and say that Master Wato turns on Taguchi. Boom.
Seventh match, we got the IWGP Heavyweight Tag Championship match. Yoshihashi and Goto defending against Yujiro and Evil. I do not have high hopes for this one.
Neither do I.
Who's going to win? I mean, Evil's already got 2 championships.
Yeah.
Putting 3 titles on him might be a step too far, so I will optimistically say that Goto Hashi will retain here. I
would agree. Is this their first title defense?
Yes.
Okay. And I think, we have a guy that's perfectly fit to lie down in the ring with a Yujiro. So, yeah, I think that's a successful defense.
Main event is the IWGP US Heavy Championship match with Tanahashi in his first defense against Sanada. So, of course, this all hinges on which Sanada turns up. Is it going to be good Sanada or sloppy Sanada? And the gods flip a coin every time Sanada has a big-time title match. So we'll see which one turns up. I've seen these two have really, really good matches in the G1, and I've seen them have sloppy matches in the G1. So, again, this is 50-50 shot which one we get here. I mean, optimistically, I hope we get good Sanada, but who knows?
I have look. It is Tanahashi. He can pull rabbits out of his hat. This has me worried. I'm not gonna lie. This has 30 minutes plus of what are we doing here, leading up to a 2 or 3 minute stretch of pretty decent pro wrestling. Hopefully, yeah, you're right. It is a coin flip of what we're going to say when it comes to match quality. I don't know, man. Like we're in late February. We're gearing up for a New Japan Cup. We're coming off of Wrestle Kingdom. I don't have high hopes. I got to be honest with you.
I think Tanahashi probably retains here because I would like to see him taking this belt stateside and doing some stuff with it in America.
Me too. I'd like to see him. I'd like to see him again. Oh boy. Yeah, I think Tanahashi successfully defends. But again, I you know me, I try to like map out in my head, okay, title defenses and title changes. We don't have a lot of title changes, do we? On these shows. Right?
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of them.
That.
Do you think they would have the balls to fucking put that belt on Sonata?
Well, I mean, who cares if they do? I mean, it's only the US title.
Hey, it's my country. It represents my country.
Couldn't find the Rev Pro title in Japan with a second party. I don't know. Singles champion Sonata.
Yeah.
We're going to get it at some point. It is going to happen. I mean, why not here? I don't think so. I think Tanahashi would be the better play, but wouldn't shock me if Sonata wins.
You saying title change?
No. I think Tanahashi retains.
I'm going to say title change.
Okay. All right, there you go. That is night 1. And then night 2 on Sunday, February 20th. We have 6th match, KOPW 2022 Championship match. Minoru Suzuki defending against Toru Yano in, I don't know if it's been finalised yet. Either dog cage match or a handcuff match. I think it's likely to be a dog cage match.
How about we handcuff a dog to a cage?
Oh,
that's
no,
cool. I know I don't want to do that, but I'm just saying. It's just an idea. You know.
Do it to Ishii, the Stone Pitbull.
There you go. Now we're talking.
To atone for his loss.
You don't give a shit, do you?
I don't care.
Yeah, me neither.
I mean, I did see actually Suzuki's going back to the US.
Yeah.
Do I think he's going back to the US to defend the KOPW trophy? I do not.
No, he's going for a payday for WrestleMania weekend.
Yeah, so he can do forearms and funny faces, and people who've never watched him wrestle before can say, "Oh, he's amazing! It's the best match I've ever seen." Yeah. But in this match, I think Yano's winning, and I think we're taking KOPW back to Silly Town.
All right, Silly Town it is. Let's do it.
7th match is the Never Six-Man Tag Championship match. Yoshihashi and Goto challenging the holders, Sho, Yujiro, and Evil. I mean, this is another part of the problem, just the fact that we're seeing these guys wrestle each other so much over the last few months. It's just,
yeah.
What could I possibly say here? I mean, it's a House of Torture 6-man tag match. There's going to be a lot of shenanigans. Can Chaos overcome the odds? I don't really care. Damon, help.
I wish I could, my man. I wish I could. Bring in the reinforcements. Come on, Japan. Bring in the reinforcements. I mean, look. I mean, if they're not winning the tag belts, they're successfully defending the Nevers. So, what are you going to do? I got nothing.
8th match is the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship match with Kazuchika Okada, his second defense against Tetsuya Naito. This one, yeah. Go ahead.
No, I mean this is the weekend, right? This is what we're here for. I expect great, right? This has to be great. I'm kind of hoping for a successful title defense, but I will say this: that it does feel like it's been forever and a day since Naito's had a big win, and he may have had big wins that I'm just completely fucking forgetting. But it feels like he's a guy that could use a win. I kind of want Okada to hang on to this. I really do. I don't want this to be a short-term championship for Okada.
Yeah, me too. I think he should probably hold it for most of the year. It's a bit of a shame that Naito is being used as the Philly defense, because I don't think Naito is going to win. And again, I find it a bit strange. I thought they were protecting this match. I thought they were saving it for a don't. I mean, they might do again. Booze could be right that this is going to be the trilogy match for this year.
Why here, though?
I'm sure it will be really good. I mean, it's always good when these guys wrestle each other. So that's my expectations, like a 4.5-star match and an Okada win.
Yeah, this will be a very good match. I think people will, at the end of the day, will go out of their way to watch. I mean, look, the two guys are fucking pros. They can go. Yeah, and I will put my money on Okada winning.
All right, so that is the New Japan New Year's Golden Series. I'll give you a choice here. We can either do a few questions.
Right.
How long have we been recording for?
1 hour and 20 minutes.
Okay, so we can either do some questions, or we can do my special post-pandemic fantasy draft. I'll let you decide.
I'm going to say questions. And the only reason is that we'll be here till fucking Tuesday if we do the draft.
True. So we're going to put that on ice, save it for another week.
A rainy day. Okay. Yep.
Kevin says, Cold Skeleton is the name of Sanada's theme song. Could that also be a way to describe his current status in New Japan? I mean, yeah, something I probably should have brought up when we were discussing the Tanahashi match, but I don't think that Okan win at Wrestle Kingdom really sort of propelled him to be, we've got to take Sanada seriously. I mean, ask me again after the Tanahashi match, but I just think we know what we're going to get with Sanada at this point, a guy who is well-liked by domestic fans, but is very hit or miss with the foreign fans.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, and he's been that way for years. I mean, let's not expect anything more or less. It's a roll of the dice of which one shows up. It's a roll of the dice of which one we're going to get against Tanahashi. And I'll go so far as to say it's a roll of the dice whether this guy wins the fucking title or not. Truth be told, they think that highly of him. So, yeah. And here's the thing too. It's like, I mean, we don't have a ton of options until we open up the doors to allow people in. But again, as I said last week, I'm sick and tired of using that as an excuse. Just think outside the box a little bit, guys. This ain't it.
Chris says, Kota Ibushi, thoughts when he might return and how New Japan should book through 2022.
Soon, right?
Maybe New Japan Cup?
Yeah. I mean, it was just a matter of him getting back into ring shape, right? If I'm not mistaken. I would not be surprised if they announced him for New Japan Cup. He's a top guy. So, he'll go far. Will he win it? Yeah, could. But he's a top guy in this promotion. So, yeah. I mean, once he's back in the ring, I think, match quality instantly goes up. We have more options for guys to work with him. He's been away for so long that it's going to feel fresh. So, yeah, I think New Japan Cup, or at least somewhere around there, we'll see him.
Andrew says, what is it about Tetsuya Naito that causes some Western fans to massively undervalue his importance and influence, not only to New Japan, but the wider Japanese scene? And that is my question. So I guess this is also referencing his struggles getting into the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame. Your thoughts? Why is it that he doesn't quite land with Western fans the same he does with Japanese fans?
As stupid as this sounds, because he's not put in, like, there is a distance between him and Okada and Tanahashi. And there always has been. Even when he was perceived as the top guy, he might not have felt like it. And I know he's very popular, and he's very popular with New Japan fans in the States. But I, if I'm being honest, I just feel like he is a guy that is, and he hasn't been, even though, again, you can point at merch figures, merch sales and headlining the Dome. And I just have always felt that, and I think people feel the same way in certain circles, that there's a distance between the level he is and where those other guys I mentioned are.
Yeah, it's a strange one because he does get big spots and he's had really outstanding celebrated matches in the fandom. His series with Kenny Omega were really critically well received, and the Wrestle Kingdom 14 main event with
Jericho.
Okada as well. So, yeah, it's a strange one, I think, but maybe it's just the nature of Naito that people tend to throw the praise at his opponent more than him. So when he has that outstanding series with Kenny Omega, like the G1, was it the semi-final in 2016 and then the final in 2017, people tend to say, oh, isn't Kenny Omega brilliant, rather than, wow, Naito.
Right. So it takes two to dance. Yeah, that's true. That is true. I think you nailed something there. Like, it does feel like it's always the dance partner, but it takes two to tango. Like he is to me, he's one of those. He's a top 4 guy. I don't know, but and I will say this too: the Observer Hall of Fame is weird. Like, it's just a weird thing. Like, people vote. I'm going to tell you the truth. There are people that probably shouldn't vote. Like, they should take that ballot and say, you know what? I'm really not as well informed as I should be on this certain thing. And not vote. You know what I mean? Like, I just sometimes I question that. Some of the people who have votes, let's put it that way, leave me scratching my head a little bit. Like, they just don't know the product, and they don't know the shit. There's a lot that do. But I don't think Dave necessarily does, and I could be wrong, but I don't think Dave does a good job keeping track of people, sharp wrestling fans, like current sharp wrestling fans. You know what I mean? I mean, I feel like a lot of his voters really don't follow the product that they're not sharp. They're not sharp. Let's put it that way. So,
yeah, the fact that there were 8% of voters who didn't vote for Okada makes me think that 8% should just be
right,
have their votes rescinded straight off the bat. That's 8% of the electorate that we can't trust.
Right. I mean, and here's the thing too, though. Correct me if I'm wrong. Like, I'm not up on the Wrestling Observer Hall of Fame and how, but correct me if I'm wrong. You only vote on certain regions, correct? So, like, not everyone votes on.
You can abstain from certain regions, I think.
Yeah, but even then, I'm telling you, I don't, and I don't know who all has a vote, but like, it's just in my experience of talking to people, like, it doesn't feel like Dave is good at recognizing the people who are in the know and who would know and who follow the product sharply.
He needs to give us both a ballot, basically.
I had one, and I didn't vote.
How long have you had that?
I mean, this was years ago. This is when I started the Purecast.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to make it happen. I'm going to try and make sure we both.
I don't want to vote.
I want a ballot, first of all.
like everything that I just described is me. So I would be like, no, I really shouldn't vote.
All right. Derek says, where's Shibata? Isn't New Japan going to follow up on him sometime? And is Golden Series Master Wato's coming out party? Are they going nuts and strapping the rocket to him now, or are we just killing time until New Japan? No, they did not. Shibata, where is he? When do you think we'll see him in action again?
No fucking idea. I guess our best bet is New Japan Cup, but I even think that is iffy at best. Look, I mean, I don't want to disappoint anybody, but could that Wrestle Kingdom appearance just be a one-off, or at least a one, or what we described, where he's only wrestling on big shows? Like, he's not going to wrestle on a fucking house show in Nagoya. I think he's going to be big show Shibata. If that.
Yeah, I tend to agree. I think best case scenario, we're looking at maybe like 1 or 2 showcase matches a year.
So that's good. Like, do you want to see him?
I have no problem with that.
Right.
But, again, I don't hold your breath for him to be entering the brackets for New Japan Cup.
Right. I would say that is accurate. But again, I wouldn't want him fucking in a 6-man tag. Big show on big shows. Have him come out, wrestle somebody that's very important. I would be all into that. That's fine. That's a perfect role for him. Perfect.
William says, with several people leaving the company, should we start worrying? Multiverse says, what do you make of the news that Tama is currently a free agent? Well, I think he was just working there. I don't think he's a free agent. Also, will you be watching the Impact Wrestling special No Surrender, where the Good Brothers will finally battle GOD after the 2 or so year builds? Jay is facing Eric Young as well, I believe. No, I will not be watching that. Any concern about people leaving the company for you, Damon?
Yeah.
There's another question here. Chris says, do you see a danger that the allure for wrestlers to work in New Japan may wear off, although it's not their own fault entirely? Feels like they're living off past glories and the next generation may not see the same attraction. Yeah, the 2 issues, the quarantine, which again may be less of an issue going forward, but I don't think these wrestlers enjoy working in front of crowds either. So it's a worry.
Yeah. Especially when you have a promotion in the States that's red hot and wrestling in front of packed buildings on national television. Yeah. Yes. I think right now New Japan is a destination for guys who are either out of that loop or trying to get in that loop. Look, there's always been that feeling in the back of your mind that you don't want New Japan guys to get too big because they're going to get poached, right? We've seen that. Look, I will never forget the day after that Wrestle Kingdom when it was, the talk of Nakamura going and the talk of, Carl Anderson, Doc Gallows going, and
AJ
Styles, and it's not a good feeling. It's not a good feeling, but especially now, again, if people are if there are wrestlers that are getting paid less, let's put it this way. This idea of, I have allegiance to any wrestling promotion is bullshit. Let me repeat that. Bullshit. They are going to where they can make the most money for honestly, can you make me a star or not? Can you make me the most money I can or not? Can you make me the most money for doing the least amount of work? Sign me up. There's no one let's put this, there's no one that I think AEW would legitimately have serious interest in that is like, no, I'm not going. I'm when he rips off his shirt and there's a New Japan tattoo on his chest. That's not happening. Trust me. They're going to go where the money is. And I'm going to go so far as to say, can't blame them.
Festive Dwarf says, is there any sense how New Japan World has done over the past year? Have subscribers held steady or have they lost people? Apparently about the same as it was pre-COVID. The impression I've got is, was it domestic subs up and foreign subs down?
Right.
I cannot see how the domestic subs are going up. Maybe it's just a question of it getting more publicity, more advertising, more marketing. I don't know. But I don't think that's a concern for the company right now.
I think the biggest problem is, and the people that I talk to is, I'm not going to pay $10 a month with all these other things that I have to pay $10 a month for. I'm not tuning in for half of these fucking shows. So why am I paying for it? That's the honest to God truth. And I hate to say it, it's that and the fact that, okay, I'm not paying for it and I know I can watch these shows by other means. That's really what it is. I'm paying $50 a month for all these streaming services that I subscribe to. I got to cut. If I'm cutting one, I'm cutting the one that I'm watching the least. Guess what that is? It's New Japan World. And here's the thing: New Japan World. And I could be dead wrong, and if I am, I'm sure I'll be corrected. But it's not like they put up a ton of classic content, right? To to satisfy that fandom. You know, what's up there has been up there for years. It's not like a ton of new stuff is added all the time. Do they do great documentaries? Absolutely, some of the best. But I mean, if you're not watching these shows, right? If you're hand waving them and you're only parachuting in for the bigger shows of the year, why are you paying $10 in February? Why are you paying $10 in March? Why are you paying? That's the honest to God truth. If it were interesting and people were captivated by what they were seeing on their televisions, they would have no problem paying the $10. But when it comes down to it, and they look at their monthly bills going out, and they see New Japan World every month, $10, and it's $10. But guess what? Half of your fan base are college age, and you know, $10 is a lot. And again, I hate to say it, they know they can find it elsewhere. If something was really important, you don't make it necessary for people to subscribe. People need to feel the need to subscribe. I hate to break the bad news to you. And if they don't feel that way, they're not going to. That's the honest to God truth.
Sure, on Hubbard says, any predictions for the Chicago show that I bought tickets for? Am I getting a Road to show or something worth my time?
You're getting a good show. That's turning into a good show. And here's the thing. You're going to have a hot crowd. Like, that's going to be one of the best New Japan shows of the year. Don't you think, Joe? Like, that crowd is going to be ravenous.
I'm really excited for it. Yes.
Yeah. That crowd's going to be fucking ready to go. They're going to be cheering their fucking heads off. They got a stacked lineup of people. They got names. They got, look, that's going to be a hot fucking show. You're going to have a great time if you got a ticket. I think it's sold out. If it's not, I can't, it's going to be. No, that's going to be one of New Japan's best shows of the year. Guarantee it.
Bannerhead says, please read this paragraph from Show's wiki, which has now been thankfully deleted.
Uh-oh.
Show has reportedly been in relationships with Japanese professional wrestlers Mina Shirakawa and Unagi Sayaka, Gravio idols Ai Shinozaki and Miri Hanai, as well as English pro wrestler Jamie Hayter. Okay. Tanaka hasn't publicly commented on any his reported relationships. He is currently engaged to Stardom wrestler Judah. So remember the person who we banned from our Discord that we spoke about a couple of weeks ago?
Yes.
This is the same person who's just edits Show's wiki entry with all these fantastical thoughts on people that Show has allegedly had relationships with, which,
with no
from
proof
my
whatsoever,
understanding, he's just making it up.
Okay, well then why are we even talking about it? You know what I mean? Come on.
Fair enough. Antonio, you dig into the mind of Antonio. My question is this.
I love you, Antonio.
We do. I heard Naito recently talking about a pay cut on his salary because of the promotion's finances, because of COVID and stuff. With all those things happening, plus COVID doing What Is It by cancelling events and stuff, plus DT, House of Torture, Suff, and TV Asahi doing what they are doing, is Bushiroad and Co. going to sell, fold, or stay New Japan as what's info, aka the scoop about all those backstage stuff, and is good to be back, and thanks for the award. Damon.
Antonio, you give me a headache. I love you. They're not selling. They're not selling anytime soon. New Japan will still be here. It's been here since 1972. They've had ups and downs. They've had peaks and valleys. This is a valley that they will overcome. And again, if things turn the right way, you're going to be in good shape. The Dick Togo stuff, look, you're not alone. We're all scratching our heads.
Sorry, can I be clear as well? Just to clear up any confusion, that stuff wasn't from us. Like, we didn't get any insider info on Dick Togo. I mean, the people in the company we've spoken to have either not known about it or actively denied it. It's Joe and Rich from Voice of Wrestling who got the Dick Togo info. So,
correct.
Honestly, we don't know anything about it. We're just going along with what they're reporting, and I've got no reason to not believe it.
Right.
Well, apart from the people in the company saying that is not true, but who knows? It's a grey area for me.
Yeah, I mean, look, again, we've said it 1,000 times. I have no doubt that is the information that Rich and Joe received from reliable sources. No doubt in my mind.
Right, and when we spoke to Kevin Kelly, the impression I got from him was he didn't believe it at all. So
Right.
take that for what it's worth.
Exactly. Listen, some of this stuff you kind of got to make your own minds up, right? With the information that is provided. And honestly, I think we land somewhere in the middle. That's my honest to God truth. I think we land somewhere in the middle. Now, are we happy with Dick Togo? No. Are we upset about the direction of the company? Of course. But keep in mind, as I said before, there's nothing wrong with cheating. There's nothing wrong with pro wrestling heelness. Pick your spots. That's our biggest complaint.
Right. There's
somebody's
more.
woken up.
Yeah,
somebody's
Esther's
up.
Here. She's joining the podcast. Good morning, Esther. Esther, good morning.
Fuck you, Daddy.
She's shy. Okay, so there's more from Antonio. I think they're football questions. So thoughts on the whole recent situations with Mason Greenwood? Okay, he's a piece of shit.
Oh.
DT going to prison, also a piece of shit. And Kurt Zuma's situation, he is also a piece of shit.
Wow.
3 pieces of shit there. I don't know if you're familiar with Mason Greenwood. There were audio recordings from his girlfriend's, which show some sort of horrific sounds of him
whacking her,
basically sexually assaulting her. It's horrible. If that is what it sounds like, then he's a piece of shit and should go to jail. Kurt Zuma put a video, or a family member put a video of him on social media of him kicking his cat. I believe I'm not watching it because I cannot stand it. That's one thing I will not.
Right.
I won't even look at it.
Yep.
But he seemed to think it was sort of the tone I got was that it was like a sort of a jokey thing. Like everyone thought it was very funny at him kicking the cat in the house. So he is also a piece of shit. And I think I wish the animal cruelty laws were a bit stricter so that something could get done about this. I don't know if it will, but yeah, I don't like any of those people that you've mentioned, Antonio, and they are scumbags.
Yeah, I don't even know them, and I don't like them. That sucks. They're terrible people. Up the street with them.
Yes. Liam says, hello, friends. What New Japan match or moment do you go to when you're crying or sad over a breakup, asking for a friend? Yes, definitely. Absolutely don't question me. Yeah, this might be an old question. I hope Liam is doing better now.
Yeah.
But any New Japan moments that you go back to that put a smile on your face? I mean, for me, like watching that final 5 minutes of Naito Okada from Wrestle Kingdom 14 is an all-timer for me. I cannot watch that and not have a huge smile on my face by the end of it. What about you?
Well, look, it's a breakup. You know, sometimes you need a little bounce back, a little bounce back in your step. From a pro wrestling standpoint, you got plenty of classics. You can dip your toes into any of the Okada. You had a whole fucking run. Any of that. Fantastic. Why don't you have a little laugh? Why don't you get yourself a little giggle? Why don't you enjoy a little provocative New Japan pro wrestling, shall we? Why don't you pop on some Maria Kanellis, right? With the feud with the Bullet Club, right? I
thought you were going to go for the Kenny Yano G1 match where they were hopping around.
That's true too.
I quite like that one.
You like that one? I'm saying that the very, very sexy Maria Kanellis doing her thing with AJ and the whole dance thing, and they're all kind of goofiness, right? So that you need a good laugh. There you go. So I'm sorry to hear about your breakup. That's terrible news. That's never a good thing. But hey, there's more fish in the water, right? Get in there, start swimming, pal. Yeah. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Let's talk to Mixelclicks next. He says, Dear Joel and Damon, this used to be a very horny podcast. Are either of you familiar with Hook from the AEW?
Yes.
He's El Hijo del Taz and basically looks like a young, cocky Calvin Klein model. Mostly, I just think he looks amazing. They've taught him some basic moves, and I think he would get over huge with native, moe-minded New Japan house show crowd once they can hopefully cheer again. I feel like Hook unleashed on an unprepared and pent-up Korakuen crowd would wet everybody's undercarriages. Thanks to both of y'all to not knuckling under. Please keep this shit at least mildly horny. Oh shit, please Hook for Best of Supers 2022. Teach them to wrestle real good. The girls will love it. You'll sell tons of tickets, I swear.
Wow.
So, thoughts on Hook, please?
I see. Look, I'm going to be very truthful. I can see where someone would look and get sexually aroused. I get that. Look, I don't care who you're jerking off to or who you're diddling. I don't know. Knock yourself out. If Hook is the flavor of the month, go get him. Go get it. Look, there's people that watch pro wrestling because they like the guys. I mean, let's be honest. And that's been that way for years. Is he the poster boy now? I guess he is. Go for it. Have fun with it. Stick your finger up your ass while watching AEW. I don't care. That's terrible. Why would he say that? What do you think of Hook?
Yeah, it's all right.
Yeah.
I watched the debut match. I thought I was, with all the hype, like people hype him up so much online, I thought there's no way he can live up to it. But I thought, actually, I watched him and I thought, yeah, I get it.
Okay. There you go. Joel's jerking off the Hook. There you go. All right. Hey, just think, all that jerking off now, it's all going to be I don't know what I'm saying. Stop me. What are you doing?
Right,
there
Esther,
she is.
Esther on the podcast. Say hello.
Hello.
Say good morning.
Good morning.
Uh-oh.
Say Super Jcast. Jcast. Say Super Jcast.
J-Cat.
Yay, that's good. That's close. Now say hello, Uncle Damon.
Yellow.
Say I love you, Damon.
Yellow.
She's adorable. Well, tell her she has 2 big fans over here in the United States, and we watch her all the time on the Instagram. She's hilarious.
Esther, say hello, Fresh.
Wait.
I can let her go now. I was going to try and make her do the ad reads. Yes, you can have your dummy back. Okay, there you go.
Yay.
There's another one from Mix and Flicks. He says,
All right,
I
let's
threw
do
on
that
an
last one.
MMA show somewhere around the beginning of the year that aired on primetime Japanese television that had sanctioned fully vocal live crowds. Have you all heard anything about this? I guess following up, assuming the proceeding is true, do you think New Japan might respond to a letter-writing campaign from native Japanese live event-going fans requesting a return to a cheering, permissive environment, perhaps even threatening to boycott events?
Do you honestly think that anyone in Japan is going to write a letter to New Japan Pro Wrestling so they can cheer?
No.
I mean, this is a country that is based on following instructions. You know what I mean? Like, it just seems completely not happening. This is not New Jersey where, you're taking away my freedoms. No, I cannot imagine that happening.
It's really frustrating, though. I mean, that clap crowd seems like it will be the last piece in the puzzle, but that is the major thing, I think, that is stopping a lot of people from watching. I know I was speaking to John Carroll, and they're not watching mainly because of the clap crowd stuff. I was asking them, if the travel opens up and they get fresh talent over there, would they consider rewatching again? But they said it's just the clap crowd thing is too much for them.
Clap crowd stuff.
They're not alone in that. So,
hey, listen, we're all struggling with it together. We're all going to get through it. It will get better, trust me. But I mean, the world's a fucked up place right now. So, if the worst thing we got to deal with is clap crowds, then we're in a good pot. We're in a good spot.
all right, let's leave it there then. So redcircle.com/shows/super-j-casts. You can throw some money our way, which we always appreciate. Discord link, you can DM me on Twitter if you want to join. At Cobra Kawaii and ProWrestlingTees.com/super-jcast, one of our t-shirts. Big thanks to editor Dan, who you can find on Twitter at LousyHero219. Subscribe to the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network. They just acquired a new Spanish language show, which I'm going to say I'm excited about. I'm not going to listen to it because I can't speak Spanish, but if you are a Spanish-speaking listener, then check that one out.
Well, he's Portuguese, right?
No, he's Portuguese.
Portuguese. Right.
The show is called...
We Hate Portuguese.
Lucha Jobbers.
No, what's it called?
Lucha Jobbers.
Lucha Jobbers. Nice.
Check out the Lucha Jobbers on the Voices of Wrestling Podcast Network from our friends there. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes. That helps us move up those rankings, apparently. Follow us on Twitter at SuperJcast. Thank you, everyone, for listening, and goodbye.
At SheFit, we're tired of hearing new year, new you, fat-burning secrets, and lose weight fast. The only thing you need to lose is self-doubt. The body you're in deserves respect, love, and support. Support you're not getting from your current sports bra. It's time to experience the only sports bra that actually does its job and outperforms the most popular brands on the market. It's time to feel real support from SheFit. Save $10 today at SheFit.com/2022.